Hi, hello, mabuhay. Welcome back to another episode of Krista's Curiosity. And I know it's been a while since I've uploaded an episode. Well, our content got stolen sadly, but we're starting from scratch. And I wanted my first new episode to be a small business owner episode with the owner of Zakka-Ya shop in Chinatown.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I own Zakka-Ya, which is a gift shop in the Japantown section of the CID. Um, I like to call it a Filipinx and Japanese shop. While most of the products I carry are more Japanese oriented, I still try to make a little section that's Filipino to honor my heritage. My husband, he is from Japan. And so, yeah, it's kind of like a little marrying of cultures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you used to vend under Shishido Creatives, which is
Yeah.
how I remember Maddie from going to either the UW Makers Fair and just other small vending markets everywhere. But can you tell what the process was like going from like just vending to like opening up a full shop?
Yeah. So opening a store was kind of my solution to vending. So I started my business in 2018. It was only online. Um, 2020 was supposed to be the year of me like, yeah, I'm gonna be a vendor. That didn't happen.
That's okay.
Yep. So around 2021, end of 2021, my very first event coming out of like the pandemic. It was still the pandemic, but yeah, like we were starting to open up more. September, the CID night market was happening. And so that was my first event back. Did amazing. You know, people were just so eager to not be in their homes. So, that was yeah, the beginning of me really vending. And that was still when my husband was less busy. So he actually vended with me. It's a lot of folks don't realize like he used to actually vend with me. Now he's a full-time
I only remember you. I'm
tattooer.
sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's okay. Yeah, he is a full-time like Tabori tattooer from Japan. So he does the hand
So
poked
sick.
method. But he is super busy. So it's really just me. So yeah, 2022 I started like vending more, but still there wasn't as many events. And then 2023, that's when like everyone had an event.
That was
And
the year.
I did 64 events in 2023, which that's more than there are weeks in a year. So yeah, there was many weeks where I would do events, multiple events in that week. Or I think actual market days was like 84 days, if you're including like 3-day events and things like that. But basically it got exhausting. I'm at that time I was my early 30s. So I was like, this is not a sustainable, and I know people who are much older who do vend all the time still, but personally I was like, this is not sustainable to physically be lugging all this stuff and setting up and tearing down, often in the same day or night. So that's where I started thinking about maybe I would want to have a store, because then it's like just you come to me and get the goods instead of me having to go
To you.
everywhere. I think there's definitely pros and cons to both. It sounds impressive to have a store because you're like, oh, like, rent can be very expensive. But a lot of people don't know vending is very expensive too. You can be paying anywhere from $50 to $400 or $500 for a booth. And the way I saw it was like, well, if I'm doing 5 to 8 events every month, that is easily as much, if not more, than renting a space. So that was kind of where I started thinking about, yeah, like conserving my own energy, but also like financially, like, could this be a better option too?
Hmm.
And so that's sort of how the beginning of me looking for a shop was. I think I started looking seriously at stores actually a little bit in 2022, but like really talking with the neighborhood associations and stuff and whatnot, around 2023. And then it wasn't till the beginning of last year that, or like April last year, that an opportunity came. So
Yay.
yeah.
I know August 2nd was your 1 year with the
Yeah.
store. How does it
Yeah.
feel?
Um, I want to say it was like, whoa, but it was a little anticlimactic to be honest. Only because I couldn't plan like a little celebration how I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is because I've been helping to organize the High Japantown event that's happening this weekend.
Yes.
So like I've been busy helping with poster work. I'm also pregnant and due in a few weeks. So it's just, yeah, so many things going on. It's still like exciting in the
Yes.
sense of like, wow, I've gone a whole year doing this. But it is like, it wasn't the big bash I was hoping to
Yeah.
plan. But I'm hoping to still like just kind of extend that into this upcoming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll have a vendor in here tomorrow.
Yay.
There's just tons of events going on in the
Come to the
neighborhood.
shop and support.
Yeah.
We're literally in her shop,
Yes.
guys. Like, if you want something, just come down.
Yes.
I know that you going into events that you've hosted in the shop, like which ones have been your favorite?
I really love the trinket trades. And that is definitely the most popular one. It's a really fun one because I just bring tables out. It has evolved a little bit from what I thought. Originally, I thought when I was hosting it, people would bring like a very specific, like, I want to trade this like sunny angel for this sunny angel, or like this Smisky or whatever. But what it's ended up being is people just literally come in and it's their way to de-stash. So they'll
Declutter.
just like bring stuff and plop it on the table. And it's kind of a free-for-all. And so I think what's cute about this event though is it's really like a no judgments kind of thing where people just come in, drop off their old hyperfixations and trade them for their new ones. And it's really cute to also see what was popular even in the last few years, because you'll be like, oh,
I
there's
remember
a
that.
lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of this particular item.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really like, even I've tried to de-stash and put stuff and then I end up walking out with just
More
as
than
much
you
or
had.
more than I brought.
Yes.
Yeah, and it brings in a lot of people. I think it's really sweet too, because people come in right at open, put their stuff down, see what has already arrived. They'll go
Mm-hmm.
walk off and like have lunch or get a boba or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like 40 minutes later, they'll come back and see what's new, because people do kind of trickle in and out
Yes.
throughout the time. And then I have even people who literally bring nothing and they just want to come and get free stuff. And, I'll even tell customers who don't know about the event, who are just wandering in, I'm like, feel free to partake. Like if it's on the table, it's free game. So yeah, like I think it's just a really sweet event. That's definitely, yeah, the most popular one I have. But I do love like hosting all my events. My other favorite, it doesn't have the highest attendance, to be honest, but it is like my bullet journaling one.
Oh, okay.
And it's so far, like when I posted it, it's just been like me and a few people that like I'm friends with, and then maybe like friends of their friends. But so it still ends up being like a sweet little social thing where we nerd out over stationery and like, oh my
That's me too.
gosh, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are probably my favorite. And then I just love being a space where I can host people in general.
How do you curate your events then?
I generally reach out to the artists, or I'll reach out to the workshop folk. They're usually people I've either vended with before. I always tell people though they can always reach out to me too, but because I'm still considered new, and like a lot of folks still don't even know I'm existing in this space.
They will now.
Yeah, hopefully.
They will now.
But yeah, I would love to have more people come in. I let people vend for free because
Wow.
I don't think well, for one, I can't guarantee foot traffic in this space. So that is the only thing is I've noticed, if you have a higher following and you're good about promoting yourself,
your audience.
they're gonna come. And then I've had, instances where not very many came because if they didn't promote, they're going to be there. I can promote all day, but like if you're not following me, you're not going to see that your favorite artist is popping up in this space too. So So I do love hosting that. And if anyone wants to be in the space, maybe not in the next few months as I'm on maternity leave, but
Yes.
after that, like would love to host people. So
What is an event that you would like to see then? Because you mentioned trinket trades.
hmm
I've seen candle making and the
yeah.
bullet journaling.
Yeah. So besides those, actually more on a serious note, I really want to host like a group meetup where people can discuss. So I'm of mixed race, and one of the things I've always struggled with is feeling like you're not specifically not welcome, but it's you're always othered.
Yes.
So like being half Filipino, it's very much I would always get even when I'm volunteering with Filipino community, they're like, well, why are you here? I'm like, well, I'm Filipino. And they're like, well, you don't look Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair. Like I know I don't play the part or like look the part of what's typical, but then of course that's a huge spectrum itself.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a struggle that I know many people feel from any kind of mixed race background. So an event I would really love to host is just something where people can get together and have a support group, like to talk about what that is, knowing that I'm about to have a child that's going to be very mixed race as well.
Mm-hmm.
um, I've been reading more up about like third culture, and one of the things I've been seeing on my feeds a lot lately is it's like you're not half this, you're not half that, but it's more like you're a full person. And so like one of the things I want to teach my daughter in the future is like you are Japanese, you are Filipino, you are white.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not a little bit of each. You are fully yourself. Like who you are is who you are, and you have these in you. So it's kind of like reframing how we speak, because I don't think there was any. My parents didn't teach me to have shame for being mixed at all, but it's still like society is like, well, you're only this or you're only
Yeah.
that. And you can be both. And I've been even seeing that in the narrative, like of being Asian American, where it's like you are Asian and you are American.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that you're half and half. You just
Or
you're
both.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I would love to create. I don't know, like a meetup group
Community
type of thing where
healing.
yeah, where people can just feel like they can talk about the struggles they've had.
Mm.
And I don't know if there's solutions for it, but it's just a group where, you can at least feel like this was my experience and
Mm.
people can be like, I see you. Yeah.
It's
So,
nice to have that feeling and
mhm.
belonging of community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
especially I feel like nowadays it really is so normal, especially like with the newer generations coming. It's like there is so much mixing of culture, and and that's the beauty of it. Is I've always felt like it's just beautiful to marry within your culture, and there's going to be a lot more understanding, or cultural differences are going to be bigger when you mix culture.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like, well, how beautiful is that when you take two things that are very different and put them together and they still get along. And yeah, so that's definitely like a goal I would like to have in this space for after hours types things.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I would like to attend that. Let's make that happen, guys.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a point to what you were saying too, of like even when you are from similar cultures, like there's like differences in that
true.
too.
Yeah.
And not everybody kind of realizes that if you're marrying into the same culture, like how each family kind of perceives their own culture is like very different too.
Very, yeah. Like the first time I went to the Philippines, and this is something like my auntie and I talked about. I did not know what Manopo was.
Oh.
I was not something I was ever taught. And I asked because my grandparents are still pretty, they're pretty conservative. They're still, fairly traditional.
Yep.
But it was one of the things we never even learned it. And when I first went there, I was like, what is everyone doing?
Yeah.
And, I asked my auntie, because she was born here, and she also was like, yeah, that was new for me too.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do you think we didn't learn that? And she's like, it's probably a tradition they hated. Like it's probably
That's
something
fair.
they didn't like doing. And so they just didn't teach it to their kids when they came to the US. So, I mean, and that's, I didn't grow up saying kuya. I didn't grow up saying like, tita or any of that.
Mm-mm.
Everything was, I mean, to be fair, a lot of, my grandparents, I think, unfortunately, they really tried to make their kids as Americanized as
Americanized.
possible. But so that's definitely been something I've been trying to do over the years,
Yeah.
is actually, especially since my first trip, is I wanted to learn more of the, culture
Mm-hmm.
that's in the Philippines. Even if it's not something I do here, I want to understand it.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Your
yep.
daughter is in good hands.
I hope so. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But kind of going back to the interview,
Yes.
what are some things that you want to do a year from now for the shop? Like looking ahead.
Yeah. So I will say it's still finding balance.
Okay.
I thought so another reason when I opened this store, why I wanted to open a store, is when you're vending all the time, you're on your feet for like 8 hours a day, if not more. And that's not even including like setting up and tearing down. Um, so like even if I was feeling really inspired after an event, like I'm gonna go home after this, I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna do all this
Then you
stuff,
don't.
and then you're exhausted, and then you're exhausted the next day if you don't have another the next day too. So it's like the next 2 days you're just kind of like bed rotting, and then before you know it, it's like, oh cool, now it's like Wednesday and I have to start preparing for next weekend's events, and so like the productivity level I thought was low for me for producing more art. So I thought having a store, I would be able to do that more. I still haven't figured that one out. Part of it is I do get a lot of folks who come in here and just chat with me for hours, and I do mean hours, like every day.
Like us.
No, no,
I'm just kidding.
but no, and so it's actually gotten in the way of my productivity, where I want to work on art when I don't have customers in here. Because I kind of thought this would be a semi-glorified office, but also like I can, so like I can work on art when I'm not with customers.
Yes.
And instead it's been where I don't get very much new art done, and then I have to go home and make it. But since I've been pregnant since January, it's been exhausting on top of that. So when I get
Yes.
home, my motivation is like, oh, I'm not
I wanna
doing
rest.
anything. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like lay here. Especially in the first trimester, it really truly was like I was just passing out. Like as soon as I'd get home, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just sitting on the couch, and I'm taking a nap apparently."
Mhm.
And I would say only now that I'm close to the end of my pregnancy, I'm finding it actually really weirdly calming, and I'm having like a lot more inspiration to be able to work on new designs. So I actually have, and also because it's summer, I think people aren't coming in as much to chat. Like I get a lot of tourists who are shopping, which is great. But like my regulars who come in, they're probably off doing fun things. So
Yeah.
I have had a lot more focused time, and then
That's good.
yeah. So I'm hoping by next year I'll have
Year
figured
2.
out a balance more. Which I know that's also ambitious because apparently having a baby is very hard too. Yeah. So, and the not yet born baby part of me is like, yeah, I'm gonna work on art. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna have all this time. We'll see. But I
Mhm.
do ideally I'd like to create more like new art. I will say, like in this past year, I have created the least amount of art
Mhm.
than I have, and I'm not upset about that. I
Mhm.
understand. I have a good reason for not having had a lot of new art in the last year. But it is hopefully by next year, I'd like to have more exclusive goods. Actually, that's been one fun thing I've been doing this summer, is every time there is like a food walk. Do you want me to?
Chinatown noises.
Yes. Yes. Is there another? Nope. Yeah. So every time there's like a food walk event, I've been producing a new type of like freebie. So like if
Mhm.
you come in my store and you spend like the $6 amount, you get a free freebie.
Nice.
Last month it was like you could pick between 2 stickers. This month, so next week when we have the last food walk of the summer, I have a really fun little sticker sheet I just finished, where you can get like, it has like probably like 20 food stickers that are all themed with like my favorite snacks around the neighborhood. So yeah, like ideally I'd like to have new things. I like giving something that's exciting and new, especially because I'll be real, like some of the food walk specials, they're all really great, but some of them are definitely better than others. Or I'm like, you had that same special last week or last month. It's not that exciting to, at least to me as a consumer mind. I'm like, oh, if it's the same every single time, then it's just the same. Or there's some where it's like, because all the food walk specials have to be like at least in the $6 range. So then some of them I'm like, but your thing is normally $6.50. So you just knock down 50 cents of the item. So it's not really like a deal. So I try to make something exciting and like a deal for people when they come in. So,
okay. Yay, so new art, hopefully in a year from now.
Yes.
But I guess since we're wrapping up this episode, thank you so much for being a guest, by the way. And she's pregnant, so that's like, oh my God. But what are some ways that we, the viewers, can help support the shop?
I mean, just come on by. One of the biggest things, I think I went back to mentioning how I have folks who come in here, and one of the weirdest things I never expected was for people to tell me like, oh, if it's your helper and it's not you in there, I will just walk out. And it's one of those things where I'm like, whoa. I need you to still spend money here if I'm not here. I appreciate like the fan club, but but it's also one of those like my shop stays open when people shop it. And it's not to say like I love also like the people who come in and drop in and just say hey to me. That's great. I do love that. But it is one of those things where the only way I can keep my doors open is,
why would they say that to you?
It's not just one person. Like this happens a lot. It's interesting because like even when I vended,
people husband. They wanted you.
Oh no, I mean he's interesting, like because he's cool looking, so I feel like people would like to talk to him too. But no, it is definitely people would be like, oh, I come here if I see you. I always want to come to your booth to chat with you. Sometimes those are people who spend money. Sometimes those are people who don't spend money. And I love talking with people. Like, in fact, if I'm at a slow event where I'm not even making money, I would rather still have people come and chat with me, even if they're not going to spend money, because it helps the day go by fast. And I genuinely like connecting with people. I like to create a warm environment, which is why I do think people do tend to come and hang out with me. So I feel happy. I'm glad people feel comfortable and, like I'm giving them an inviting environment. But it's one of those things too, where I'm like, but you're not even giving my worker the time of day to get to know them too. And they're great. Actually, like, so the girl who works for me, she was one of my first customers at the that first CID night market. And she was only 17 at the time. Like, and so like she's been coming in supporting. She's really passionate about like what me and my husband create.
Be nice to her, guys.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Be nice to her.
She is. And so I'm like, come in and get to know her too. Like, especially because over the next few months while I'm on maternity leave, that's who you'll be seeing. But besides that, I do have a website too. So like if people aren't local or they can't make it in,
check out the website.
Yeah, I definitely do. And I do bring in new things all the time. From local artists, myself, like imported goods. So the website definitely doesn't have as much, but it still has like 300 items on there. So there's still a lot of stuff. It's just not everything that I have in the store. But yeah, that's a really great way to support. If you also see me as Shishido Creative at events, all of it's all the same pretty much. Like the money I make from either or supports both businesses. So,
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Shop the website, come in store, and buy any items here. And you won't see her, but be nice to her worker.
Yes. I mean, no one's mean to her.
I know, but that's still like, oh, I don't want to come in because your worker's there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But thank you again so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully, maybe in a year, we can do a follow-up interview.
Yeah. And Maybe, yeah. It'll be, it might be interesting. Because I mean, navigating through being a business owner, but also then having a baby, because
Being a
most
mother.
likely I will be bringing her to work.
Yay! She
Yeah.
can be in the back.
So,
She can be the Gojo cat.
yeah. On my side, yeah.
Yeah.
My little mascot, yeah.
Yes.
So it'll be an interesting thing to navigate.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you again,
Mhm.
guys, for listening.
Thank
We'll
you.
hopefully see you with a new episode.
Yeah, oh exciting.